This is part 2 of the NHT Global Back Office training. In part 1, we looked at the basic functionality of the back office, the general overview and how to navigate that system. Now, if you didn't watch that, just go to our training channel and look it up. Today, we look at some more advanced issues, mainly how to sign up a new distributor and what is the best strategy for placing new people into your genealogy. That means into your team structure. We also talk about all the various reports that you can pull up in order to get all the knowledge you need to maximize and grow your business. So let's start at the top and let's view this main menu bar. You can navigate the back office by clicking on one of those buttons. And then a second button shows up, and by clicking on that new section, you dive into all the different settings in sections of that part. And we'll look at that in just a moment. But let's just sign up a new distributor first. And there's two ways how to do this. Either you let the system make the placement decision for you, or you do it yourself, which I would highly recommend. And let's talk about the difference. When you click on this new member button and you choose the country where that distributor lives or where you want to sign that distributor into that country, this is how you do it. But in that first example, you are allowing the computer to make the decision for you if you are placing the person on the left side or on the right side. Now, I would never recommend to let the computer choose that for you, but there are some reasons where it makes sense, and I'll talk about that in a second. The way how I would always do it is click on my team button, and that's where you get into the genealogy view. This is your tree view, your team view. And this is always your top position. And on this side, this is your left team, and here is your right team. And when you want to sign up someone, I would choose just this graphical overview. And whenever it says open position, this is where you would put someone in. So in that case, it would be, for example, here. And now we get back to the same window we used at the beginning when we clicked new member, except that this time we know exactly where we are placing that distributor. Now, in this particular case, actually, this would not be the best strategy to put someone in. Let's just quickly look at how this graphical view actually works. So whenever you click on the home button, you click on my team tile. This is your default view. This is where you are. This is your top position. And the way how you navigate is either you click on that. If you want to go a little bit further down, you just click on that distributor, and then a new window pops up. And when you want to just move on the outside tree, this is where you just click on that position, and that's how you move down. When you click on top, you always go back to your top position. If you click that bottom right button, you get to the last available open position on your right side. Same thing on your left side. So this is how you kind of navigate. It's graphical. It makes a little bit more sense for most people because they can envision where they are placing someone. So what's the best strategy then to sign people up? Where would I place them? Now let's look at this example. There's a lot of open position boxes. And which one should I use? Well, what's the best one to use? Well, to keep it really simple, for people who are not really advanced yet, who are starting out, the best way to do it is just to remember to sign people up always on the outside of your sales team. And what do I do when there is no open position on the outside? Well, there's always one. It's not even possible that there isn't. Either I click on that outside position and navigate all the way down until I find an open position, or if there's obviously a lot of positions in between, I just click on the bottom right and I always get to the last available open position. And that's where I click to sign in that new distributor. So let's just have a look and answer the question, why is that the best strategy? Well, let's just again look at this example. There's 3 positions here. And why would I not put a new person into that position? Because obviously it doesn't make a difference, because if I sponsor someone who buys products worth 1,000 BV, I get them into my virtual BV account. So what's the reason? Well, let's just assume that those John Smith people, just by the way, I haven't mentioned that, but whenever a person gets deleted or quits or stops just working the business, then that position cannot just get deleted. That position stays in the system and just gets renamed to John Smith. So whenever there's a John Smith, it means it's a position that's actually not really active anymore. But let's just assume for the time being that I have brought in personally this John Smith, or let's say this person, this distributor, and this distributor. I brought them in. They are maybe my friends. They're people that I just recruited, and I feel responsible for them. I want to help them because I'm their sponsor. So in that case, if I would now sign up a new person, a 4th person, then of course, I want to place that person in that same line going further down. So if that new distributor signs up as a gold distributor, buys 1,000 BV worth of products, then this person gets the benefit of those 1,000 BV. He gets that into his system. That person gets the 1,000 BV. That person gets the 1,000 BV, and of course me, I get those 1,000 BV as well. Now if I would choose to put that distributor, the new one, rather in that open position here, for example, then the same 1,000 BV that the distributor bought, they're always moving upwards. So in that case, this distributor would get the benefit of 1,000 BV. This distributor would get the benefit of 1,000 BV, and of course me. And those two are where they won't, because the BV always go up. So by placing that distributor that I personally signed up on that outside structure, on the outside leg of that whole system, the people that I brought in, they're all in that same line, and they all get those 1,000 BV into their account. So this is why it simply makes sense. If you didn't understand that, just remember, as long as you place people on the outside, you are fine. So that was the manual way how to sign people up. Let's just talk again about the other way how to sign people up. This is by clicking the new member button. And now there's one thing we need to do first, and that is we need to click on this account info placement strategy. That actually makes it clear where the computer should place them. So there's 4 different options. The one that really works best is to choose the power leg button, either left or right, depending on how big of a volume you have accumulated in your legs. In that particular case, The strong sales team is that left leg. It has over 100,000 BV. In the weak leg is the right one. It has 0. So in that case, clearly, of course, I want to define that right sales team of mine to be the default for placing these new distributors into that team. So if I just would save that, then in that case, when I click on new member and do not do it manually, and I just click here on enroll, in that case, the computer is placing that new distributor into my weak team on the outside of the bottom team. If we go back and if we would choose the left power leg team, where I have already a lot of BV, that would maybe not be the best way to do it, because if I now save it and I would click on just new member without defining where that new distributor goes, then the system would put the distributor already into my team where I have a lot of BV, but both teams have to be balanced out. So I want to have volume, new volume coming into this right team. So in that particular case, I would simply just want to choose that option. Now, if there are sometimes reasons why I would want to use this option, and that is, for example, I want to support a very specific distributor that is somewhere in my genealogy, and he's not on the outside, he's just somewhere in the middle. And if I know that distributor ID, I can just type that distributor ID of that person that I want to support, who's in my downline, and then I would specify that I want to place the next new distributor either on the left or on the right of that position of that distributor that I want to support. Another situation when you can use that strategy is when you promote your sign-up link, for example. If you're really good at online marketing and you've got your link, this is your sign-up link, this is the online store, this is your personal online store, and when you signed up, you used a username for that. For example, ntglobal.com/ in whatever your website name, whatever you have chosen. So this is your personal store, and if you would click on the Join Us button, this is when, and this link you can actually promote. So you can send that, send that off, promote that link, and whenever someone clicks on that, even when you are not aware of that, he would sign up into your sales team. And that's why it is important to define in your back office back here where that distributor is going to sign up, because he's going to sign up without you even knowing it. So that's for those situations. Or there's also situations where he says when you actually know about that person, but he wants to sign up on his own. He's in somewhere in a different city, country, or continent, and he just wants to sign up. And he says, great, this is an amazing opportunity. I love the products. How can I sign up? So rather than you signing up that person, he signs up himself. And to be sure that he gets exactly into the position that you want him to be, that's where you would actually define it. So to just wrap up, this option you would only use when you want to place new distributors into a very specific spot. Those two options here is actually what you should use most of the time. In that specific example, I would of course use this one. It's the team where I have the smaller amount of BV, because that's where I want to accumulate more BV. In this one, I would actually never use. I would not allow new distributors to choose for themselves because they have no idea, they don't understand it, and why would they choose? You have to stay in charge. All right, let's go back to the home screen. Let's just have a look what the other buttons do. Obviously, in the account information, in the person information, you can change your email, your phone number, your bank account information. Everything is done down here. This is again the placement strategy we just talked about. This is the retail card setting. Basically what this does is that when you click this little blue box, that means that you activate that product in your online store. And whatever product is activated by clicking this tick box, that's when those products are available in your online store. That's when people can actually see them. So if you, for example, would just be interested in selling wellness but no beauty products, then you just deactivate them like this and they will not be available in your online store. So if you're actually sometimes missing some products that are not in your online store, then you need to check if maybe they have not been activated or for whatever reason they have been deactivated by default. And the last things really just the policies and procedures and the privacy policy. Well, just need to read through those. So that's the account tab. The commissions tab. You always have to click on that icon here, which pops up. Otherwise, nothing shows up. So this is the commission history. This is actually this is where you track your earnings. This is where the dates are. Whenever you click on a specific week, you get all the details about the volume that was being generated in that week. If you earn money, then this is where it would tell you if you've earned 200, 500,000, whatever the amount is. If you are registered, if you're VAT registered, then, which this position is not, but if you were, then there would be a small icon where you can download your commissions that you receive from NHT for tax purposes. So you would click on this icon, which is not here, and you would just download a invoice, and it would it's just a tax document that you can use for your taxes. You can clearly pick any week that you're interested in and just have a look how much money did I earn in that particular week. The next is the report button. That's where you get an overview of what's going on in your downline. The downline report, you can really filter and see, just get an overview. You can look for members by their specific name or by their ID, by their enrollment rank or date or their rank. You can look them up by country. So you just need to play around a little bit and see how useful that is. The generation tree report is, to be honest, a little bit confusing, and I would not really use it. I've never really used it. The recognition rank report, that's where you can just have a look how your team is doing, how individual people are just being ranked on our international recognition program. So again, it gives you an overview and you can support people who are doing well. Another interesting report is the orders report. Apart from tracking your personal orders, you can, for example, just have a look what are the orders that have been placed today. Or I think one of the more interesting information that you need to track are the pending pay orders. This is where you can see that people have placed their orders but have not really paid for them yet for whatever reason. So you can look up people that you have signed up or people that you know, and you can chase them up and just find out if there's anything they need. If they change their mind and place an order but don't want to actually go through it, don't want to pay. So that just gives you an overview again of your business. So this report gives you just a general overview of how to track your business. You can play around, don't have to worry about breaking anything. Just go through this and get to know your back office. It can really help you grow your business. The last thing here is just the tool section. If we load that up, there's a lot of tools that the company has provided. There's lots of guidelines down here. You can download the logo guidelines, the PDF file for the logo, quick references in different various languages, the company presentation, product presentations. It's all there. Just have to know where it is. Company videos. Here's actually the NHT Global Business presentation, which is actually pretty good. You can just send that link to your prospects and they can see it. So there's a lot of information there. Take advantage of them and know what there is. And the last thing here are the FAQs. I would really think that a lot of questions that you get as a new distributor are actually highlighted here. And if you have distributors on your own, then you just send them to the FAQs in the back office. And people should learn to look for that information on their own. And if ever you run into problems or just are not sure about something, you can always contact support. Click that icon here, select your topics, write something in there and just send it off. And the company will get back to you. All right, I would say this wraps off the second part of the back office training. This highlights most of the most important things. I probably didn't cover every single detail, but it's very easy once you know what to look for to find it. And that's it. It's a very, very powerful tool to track your business. So spend a little bit of time to get to know that, and you'll be on your way to your next level.